Also in studio is Freedom the service dog. Enjoy.
I need the 6 minutes. That's what happens in that 6 minutes.
You told me, using any technique that works, never to limit myself to one style. Keep an open mind.
We're not here to take part, we're here to take over.
In order to become more peaceful, in order for you to become better and strategize your life.
All right, we're live.
What's up, Anthony?
How you doing?
All right.
Glad to be here.
And we have
Freedom.
Freedom.
your little buddies in here, too.
Yes.
It's the first dog in studio we've had.
It is.
Right, Cito?
It is the first.
Yeah. Lombard. Also in studio is Freedom the service dog. Enjoy.
I need the 6 minutes. That's what happens in that 6 minutes.
You told me, using any technique that works, never to limit myself to one style. Keep an open mind.
We're not here to take part, we're here to take over.
In order to become more peaceful, in order for you to become better and strategize your life.
All right, we're live.
What's up, Anthony?
How you doing?
All right.
Glad to be here.
And we have
Freedom.
Freedom.
your little buddies in here, too.
Yes.
It's the first dog in studio we've had.
It is.
Right, Cito?
It is the
Yeah.
first. Yes, it is.
That is my service dog, PTSD dog. Got her in June. I went through Canines Through Veterans. It's a local organization that help find dogs for vets like myself that have post-traumatic stress. And one day they're like, "Here you go. Here's your dog." I was like, "Oh, okay."
No shit.
Is there like a waiting list, I'm assuming, or
Yes.
something like that?
Yeah. And I did know some people, and she helped me. Like, I got the dog pretty quick compared to
really?
like some waiting lists.
Is this your first dog?
Not my first dog, but my second one. I had a pit bull puppy when I was 19. She passed about 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, this is. Yeah, I got her at 6 months. Like, here's your service dog. You're allowed to bring her in places. I'm like, okay. Like,
Yeah.
I'm walking in restaurants and Jewel Osco, Walgreens with my service dog.
So what is because forgive me, and maybe not a lot of people know, but what is the purpose of the service dog? Like, how does it service you, and how that whole system work?
For one, she's a friend, obviously, and she's a woman that doesn't talk back and all that stuff. So that's a good thing. But she's supposed to learn my emotions, and if I'm feeling any anxiety or anything like that, and she'll pick up on it. You'll notice if she's not familiar with an area, she'll sit down. If I say sit, but she'll turn her back to me and look, and just very, very observant. Just so keeps an eye out. And again, and just, nudging people out of the way if they get too close, and just being there.
Right.
And she's just such a worker's dog. She needs something to do. A lot of them are police dogs as well.
Yeah.
Dutch Shepherds, and she's been to tournaments with me. She's been to the Worlds. She's been to the World. She's been to the Masters World. She's been around. She's been to IBJJS Chicago, Austin, Texas. She's flying on planes at 8 months old. So she's been my friend.
Now, I imagine there's a little bit of anxiety before you compete.
Yeah.
So how does she react to that?
Well, I don't know. My friends will hold her, and I remember this one. It's my recent one. I just ended up going against Jiao, and I lost, and I came back, and on the pillars, the yellow pillars or whatever, she stuck her head through, started licking me, blah, blah, blah. So, but yeah, she helps just keeping me grounding. Yeah, Jiao Meow. Mm-hmm. She keeps me grounded, and, things could be worse, losing, winning, you're still learning. So,
Right.
But yeah, she provides me some help during that. I've been more relaxed.
Very cool. And so does she have to wear the vest in order for like restaurants and stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And if she didn't have the vest on, she'd be a lot harder to control because she would be like, okay, it's playtime. When she has the vest on, she knows she has to stay quiet. She can't go up to people. She shouldn't even like wag her tail. It's like she's very smart.
Okay.
But she knows. I mean, she's just chewing on a bone. If she didn't have nothing right now, she'd be jumping on the table, probably licking you guys to death. So,
Right. Yeah.
so she's still a puppy, and I forget that sometimes.
Yeah, because when I walked in,
Right, of
I
course.
naturally I want to pet a dog.
Yeah,
and It's
uh-huh.
like she's working right now.
Right.
After the podcast, we'll take the vest off, and she won't be working.
Yes,
that's so cool.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
you got her at 11 months. Did they train?
No,
the
I got
dog?
her at. She's only 11 months now. I
No.
got her at like 6 months old.
So did they give you the dog fully trained?
She was trained the basic stuff already, but she's just so smart. She picked up, amazing. I train her twice a week. I have to come out to Chicago, and Canine through Veterans, they train her with me. And like I was saying earlier, she passed her Good Citizens test on Thursday. So that was good. She was the youngest one, I think, that passed. So
Yeah.
she's smart. She's smart.
And she's cool looking.
Yeah,
She's cool.
very
Yeah.
cool.
She's-
What breed of dog is that?
Dutch Shepherd.
Dutch Shepherd.
I didn't know anything about them before I got her. I wanted a Shepherd. I've had German Shepherds, and as growing up and stuff, and I was like, what is this? This isn't German Shepherd. It looks like a Shepherd though, but
Yeah. Yeah, they're great companions.
yes,
Unbelievable. Zito, you're getting a dog soon, right?
I mean, I put a request in.
Yeah.
We'll see if it happens.
Oh,
it's
'cause
just,
you're-
it's up in the air.
the dog you're getting has to be special requested, I'm sure.
It is. It was
right?
special requested.
Super
and
hard to get dog.
Super hard to get dog.
Of course.
and
Goes
I
on
don't-
sale at midnight.
Right.
I've got my phone set.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I don't know, man. I mean, you put the request in, and you don't hear anything from these breeders.
Yeah.
Like it's just like nothing. It's like weird. I don't get it. But whatever. If they email me back, great. If not,
I'm
keep
sure
looking.
it could take a while with waiting lists and
Yeah, I'm sure it does. But I'm always about like aesthetics. I like a cool looking dog, and like
Right.
this dog is pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
I asked him. I said, is she going to get any bigger? And obviously she's 11 months, so she will get a little bigger,
little bit. I mean,
but she won't be like
no,
normal,
Right.
right?
But you should see how fast. I mean, she'll jump. She could jump over this
Yeah,
easily.
super
It's
athletic
amazing.
looking. Yeah.
I didn't know.
So if this one falls through, maybe I'll look at Dutch
You should.
Shepherds.
Oh,
Any
that'd be-
shepherd is
Really?
just so easy. They're so smart. It's
Really?
ridiculous.
It's like, hey,
yeah.
go outside. They're
Yeah.
yeah.
So my dog, Gracie girl, she's part pointer and part shepherd, and
She's super smart, also.
she's very smart, and she could feel your emotions pretty well too. And she'd jump up on the table no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
And
what I want. I want like an intelligent dog. I don't want a dog to just like
So
trainable.
Exactly.
So my dad has Gracie now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I talked about this, but between work and jiu-jitsu and doing the podcast and stuff, I felt like I still managed to walk her 3 times a day, but it was just so much that,
Mm-hmm.
a dog, they need a backyard. I think, they don't belong in an apartment in the city and stuff like that. So, when I started training more and working more and stuff, it became a lot. And then also my mom passed away, and I was like, okay, maybe I could, my dad needs a companion. Maybe he'll take the dog. Obviously, you couldn't say that to him. He's an old school Irish guy off the boat. Like, here's a companion for you, Dad. He'd be like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I had to word it in a way where it was like, hey, you're really helping me out. Now the two of them are thick as thieves. I'll never get that dog back. But
Probably not.
That's how
it
it
was
is.
a nice win-win-win.
Yeah,
one of those
exactly.
situations where it's like it freed up a lot of time for me. Gracie has a better life, living in the burbs with a backyard, and then my dad as a companion. So it was really cool.
They're great. She's sniffing your shoe right now. She loves shoes, but she's not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And now she stopped because I looked at her. But she smells other dogs. She loves shoes. I don't know. That's what she does.
So Anthony,
Yes.
how do you feel about? So you're a person who actually needs a service dog,
Yes.
and benefits from it. Now, you see sometimes on airplanes, and you see these chicks with their little lap dogs, and and they're like, "Oh, it's my anxiety dog" or whatever, and you're like, I don't know, anxiety from what?
There's been some instances where there's been little dogs up front, like they're holding them, and I'm with her in a vest, laying down. This other dog's barking and yapping. I'm like, she doesn't, other dogs. It's like territorial type thing.
And they just seem to get the paperwork so they could travel with their puppy.
That's basically what it is. I can't say that's everybody, but
Well, I mean, should they all be wearing vests like yours?
So she's different since she's a PTSD service dog than a companion animal. I believe with the companion animal,
like
you just need
support dogs?
emotional
Yeah.
support. Yes. You could have like an iguana, I believe, as well.
Oh, is that right?
You could have whatever the hell you want. But I don't know.
Okay.
That's a little because to be honest, traveling with her is a pain in the butt. She's really good. She's amazing, but I know it benefits me. But traveling in general is stressful.
Sure.
But she helps with that anxiety more than anything because traveling is awful. So she could make it worse, but she could make it better. So I don't know why someone would have to bring their little iguana or poodle with them on
Right.
a 3-day tour.
Now, the dog. Now, PTSD obviously is something that I don't know if it's recent, but I don't remember PTSD being utilized or that word being said back in like the 80s and 90s.
Vietnam. No, nobody
right?
knew.
No one knew.
PTSD, I'm sure, goes back to the ages,
But that
they never
term,
had a term.
They never had a term
no.
for it, right?
No.
No. Right?
I don't. I should have. I think the term had to be in maybe they brought up 80s, 90s. I've done papers on it. I can't remember right off the head, but yeah, those poor guys, and girls that they can't get the help they need. It's tough.
Now, what about there's also, people out there, I listen to different podcasts and they talk about, microdosing with, mushrooms and, using, cannabis and stuff like that to kind of help. Did you go down any of those roads as well?
Cannabis has helped me, honestly. Mushrooms, and I haven't touched those. When I was a youngster back in the day, when I was a kid, I messed around with some of that stuff and I had some bad experiences. So, but to be honest, cannabis should definitely be. I believe it is legal, but it's so hard to get it as well. You have to find a psychiatrist that believes in that. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are old school. Right. But they're trying to pump me full of man-made pills that are much, 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 much worse off than,
Are you on them right now?
I don't take what I'm supposed to.
Right.
I take something for just a low dose just to kind of help, but I do have like it's not Xanax, but it's called clorazepam. It's just it's a benzo for anxiety. It kind of just like bam, shuts the mind off a little bit. And this lets me sleep. But if you're taking those things 3 times a day, you're a zombie, and that's what they're trying to make me. And Jiu-Jitsu obviously has saved me. I mean, from PTSD. That's the best therapy of all. That's why I train injured. That's why I train as much as I can. I'm hurting, but I have to do this for my, I love it. Number one, but 2, it's that healthy addiction that I need.
Now, were you trained jiu-jitsu prior to going into enlisting?
No, nope. I always wanted to. I took Hapkido. I was the opposite of it's like Aikido. I thought I was Steven Seagal back in the day, but I don't know why I liked his movies. Oh, good Lord!
We all did.
Yeah.
I was subject to love him too. So.
Right.
Some of those were some cool movies, but I took Hapkido, and of course, watching Hoist, I was like, "What is this little guy in a gi doing to these big, scary guys?
Right.
What the hell is that?" I'm a little guy. So, of course, I'm sure that's a lot of people's stories. Mm-hmm. And I've always wanted to do it. I didn't have the money. Back when I was 18, 19, 20, I didn't have the money. My mom didn't have money to give me for jiu-jitsu. And it was far away. God, I don't remember. Probably 2001 I was looking for jiu-jitsu, but I wasn't finding it around here at the time. So I got back into jiu-jitsu and MMA on my second deployment in Iraq because of a few guys were messing around with it, and they started teaching me some jiu-jitsu. And I remember like the second day I ever grappled, I got a triangle on somebody. I was like, what the hell was that? Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. I got long legs. Let's use them.
Right.
And then that just helped me. And then that I just haven't stopped since 2000, I would say late 2006, 2007.
Okay.
But yeah, I learned when I was in there, but separate from the Marine Corps. We learned our basic combat stuff in the Marines, but
So you were in the Marines?
yes, from 03 to 07.
Oh, wow. And you did how many deployments? 2 deployments?
2 deployments in 05 and 06. We were in Fallujah the first year, and then TQ, which is, I forgot the name of it. We also went in Ramadi and stuff like that. So we've been in some pretty bad places.
Yeah. So what do you think about that when you look back and, what do you think about that?
It seems like a dream. A lot of it seems like a dream.
Do you agree with going out there? Do you agree with all that?
Yeah,
Decisions?
being a prideful Marine, I'm always gonna agree with that. War is it's just a necessary evil. Unfortunately, politics gets involved, and that ruins it for everything. But I'm not gonna say, oh, we shouldn't have been there because I'm just being a Marine. I just couldn't be saying that.
Well,
having pride.
I think it's a matter of looking at the United States policing the world.
Yes, and that's
where it gets kind of gray.
That's where it gets tough. That's where it gets tough because I want.
feel bad?
It'd be nice to stay out.
Right.
You want all now. I want everybody home now that I'm out of it. But
Right.
when I'm in it, you're like, oh man, this is our job. Unfortunately, this is what I signed up to do.
Did you feel like you were helping people? When you
Oh
were there?
yeah, people don't get it. They weren't there.
Yeah.
There are so many. We couldn't do anything. You're going to hear the negative stuff. You're going to hear, Marine Army guy killed 6 Arabs that have nothing to do with what's going on.
Yeah.
Or that's terrible.
That's the news. It's always negative.
It's media. That's what they do. But the children that came up to us just saying how we saved them, the woman, the men. So I'll always have that, and that's why I try to stay out of debates, is because people are like, oh, you're there for this, and I get it. We all watch it, and war is horrible, and we were policing them at the time, when I went there, and it was just it sucked. We probably should have been gone earlier.
But what you said, that was your job. And what's interesting, that term, the job, relates to business, right? So
Yes.
when you hear job, you're like, oh, well, you're working for a business, right?
Right.
But the business is what? War.
Right.
War is run by the government.
Yeah.
So it's just that,
It's one of those. It's a pride that I can't explain.
Right.
Lives lost. It's awful. I've seen lives lost. I got blown up June 6, 2006. I should be gone. I shouldn't be here, but I am. I don't know how, but I am. It's just like you think about, you almost lost your life for delivering mail to another base. Do you think that's
Yeah.
stupid? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
Can I ask you about PTSD?
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm overstepping, just tell me to shut up.
No, it's better. I ignored it for 7 years, and it all hit me at once, and that wasn't good. So, this is part of the reason, even coming on here, it's just great to talk about how jiu-jitsu and PTSD just goes hand in hand, to give vets something to look forward to, because you have an addictive personality. A lot of people, if you've seen combat, or just if you've been overseas, and just dealing with the military on a daily basis is tough, especially in Marines, and I can't even imagine the special forces, Navy SEAL. There's just so much. So it's huge. So I'm trying to get awareness out and saying there's hope.
Very cool. Was there a specific instance that happened that you think that's when you developed PTSD, or was it accumulation?
It's an accumulation, but what I was just saying, June 6th, 666, it's kind of crazy.
Oh,
but,
that is nuts.
that was the day that that was it. It was a quick flash, and I was like, okay. We thought we were done for, and I think we got rescued, and probably within minutes, but it felt like, I don't know, felt like days, hours. So
right.
That's going to mess you up. For the most part, I mean, for PTSD, if you had a tough upbringing and then you see war, or PTSD is not just military related, but it's anything related, physical abuse. There's so much. But just being over there and just seeing all of it and having a tough childhood, so it just makes it harder to witness more depressing shit. When
Right.
you still feel good, you're there for a reason, like we were just talking about. I go back and forth with that, but it's if it'll just magnify it. It's like anxiety on steroids, I guess. Right. PTSD. I mean, there's so many different versions. People could wake up having flashbacks, just hallucinations. I don't have hallucinations, so I'm not. I'm still capable to make a living. Mm-hmm. I don't like going around saying, "Hey, I have PTSD." Unfortunately, my dog's vest says it. Right. So it's embarrassing, even though it shouldn't be. But it is better to talk about it, because if you hold it in, that's your life. You're holding in your life, and that's something I'll never. That's what made me who I am.
Do you feel like there's a negative stigma to PTSD, like having the dog around? Do you feel that people are like, "Oh, don't go near him"?
Yeah, they think I'm crazy.
They think you're crazy.
Yeah, and I mess with people though sometimes.
Do you really?
Oh yeah. Well, if
Nice.
I get harassed a little bit, I was just telling him just at the place, this lady didn't understand service dogs and was kind of getting on me about stuff. And she's like, "Why do you even have the dog?" And or she said something like that. And I'm just, because I'm crazy. I said, I'm a crazy war veteran.
Right.
It's so annoying. But
What about-
come on, like there is a bad stigma. It's a dog. It's cool.
Right.
I get to walk around with a dog that
Right.
could help me out.
Now, do you pet the dog when it wears the vest?
I can, but I try not to. I try just to let her do her thing. I mean, she watches me train jiu-jitsu every day, and then she watches me work. And then she gets to run around all night.
Yeah.
All night.
So-
we're at skate parks at 2 a.m.
Are you really?
Freezing, yes.
Nice.
I have to. She just has to run.
She got that energy.
So does she, because she's your little protector, does she sees you like rolling around with dudes, essentially fighting? I mean,
Yeah,
she-
she's been okay. She's been okay. She'll howl if she doesn't like see me. Sometimes she'll make a few noises because she can't see over the what is it, like desks or wall. She can't see over the little wall over at my jiu-jitsu school. So she's like, "What's going on over there? Maybe I'll make a noise and they'll come over here." But then we stand up and she's looking at us. But no, she's like, whatever. He's getting his butt whooped. It's just like every day.
Right.
So it's okay. It's okay when you tap. She's not like
Yeah,
she'll go
no,
crazy.
she
doesn't get one
she's
back
like,
for you.
She's like, "You shouldn't have tapped. That was too easy. You shouldn't have tapped." No, she sees me get whooped every day.
what about people in jiu-jitsu? Like, is there anyone that's apprehensive to rolling with you because they're like, "Oh, he's a crazy like war guy. He's not going to let go of a choke." or something.
Surprisingly not.
Thinks he's in battle.
No.
Okay,
People
good.
mess with me though. It's funny. My Uflacker Academy. They're my family. Those people are great. They mess with me all the time. But we've known each other for 8 years, 7 years.
Right.
So you build that family.
Sure.
And that bond. And even people I work with, they're just like, "Oh, he's gonna have a flashback. Get ready, guys. Here we go. Let's go for cover. Don't play video games." It's
Right.
like I could joke around about that.
Do you play
but
video games?
I don't have the time. I
Yeah.
want to. I really do. I'm just so busy all the time.
But is that a thing? Like playing war video games?
That's what
Or-
I'm asking. I was wondering.
When I had nose surgery, I couldn't train. So I got into playing Call of Duty, and I became obsessed with that game. I was up all night playing my video game.
How did that
with
feel?
my friend.
Did that like?
It's pretty intense sometimes. It brings back some, like when you hear the bombs, and my buddies I'd play with would be like, "You all right, dude?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." But that's the movies. Movies, like, that's just a game. Certain movies are a little bit more intense.
Yeah. I like that answer though. Who has the time? You know, who has the time for video games? Really?
I would love to have. They do.
Yeah.
I worked for a cable company for like 7 years, so I've seen other
Comcast?
people that played video games.
I need more bandwidth. Need more bandwidth.
Oh,
Right.
God.
That's their biggest like worry in
They
their
got
life.
their headsets on.
Right.
It doesn't look like they left the couch in 3 days.
I'd be here till tomorrow telling stories. It's, you know what? To be honest, Comcast added to my PTSD.
Did they?
I worked some pretty bad areas, and then working even the richest of the rich areas, terrible.
Yeah.
You know.
I
So
can see that.
Are you still with
get-
Comcast?
No.
Okay. So what were you, like a
I was
tech?
at Comtech, yeah.
Okay.
I was there for 7-8 years. And then I got into
What's the biggest tip you ever got?
I think I got like $50 to $100 from a nice couple. Some guy gave me $20 for just giving him a brand new remote.
Nice.
But then I'm at a house where these people are billionaires. I'm there for 7.5 hours, dying, swearing at, oh my God, and they give me nothing.
Yeah.
Or they want more. They're like, well, you didn't put that in there right. I'm
And
like, oh
that's
my
why they're
God.
billionaires.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I'm not bitter.
So
But ever since then, I've been I got at UFC Gym Lombard.
so I was just gonna say. So you're at UFC. So that's where I saw you because I used to train there with Omar when before he opened his academy.
Oh my
10
God,
Planet
wow.
Lombard was there.
Oh yeah.
For a few months, and we trained. I'd go there on
Yes.
Thursdays, and you were.
I never
you would
got
be
the road.
teaching.
Yeah, I was always there. I'm always there. It's great. I love it. They just to do something you love, and to learn,
Right.
is just it's amazing. To help change people, to take, especially jiu-jitsu. That's my love.
So is it more so jiu-jitsu, how it impacts you is more a cerebral thing. So you're thinking about jiu-jitsu and it's just kind of keeping your mind occupied.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah. I love it. I think about it. I just think about how to improve my students, how to improve me, learning what my instructor gives me, and just.
So how's that
combining
different?
it.
Like when you say jiu-jitsu, but could you utilize chess, or what is it about jiu-jitsu that you think resonates within you?
It's
more than
always
anything else?
thinking and evolving, and I'm not the king of the castle every time. I get my butt whooped a lot. I'm a
Right.
small guy. I love it. I don't mind getting my butt whooped. It's just making me better. I'll say I got my butt whooped even if I tapped out somebody 20 times and I got caught in one thing. I'll be like, I got my butt whooped. But
Right.
I want to. Everybody I train with is just amazing. In pushing and just the energy and like the chess. I love the guard. I love different type of guards. I love going upside down. I want to, it's. I love learning something new while refining the basics. Basics. I drill that in everybody's head at first. But now I'm trying to add, and it is like, it's obviously like chess. But I'm not good at chess. So my mind's always moving in jiu-jitsu, and then there's the pure, when you're just done, you have nothing left. You're like, oh man,
Right.
and just, it's there's nothing like it.
No, there isn't. I totally agree. I mean, for me, I was rolling this Saturday and just learning, from, higher ranking belts,
It's-
the knowledge, it's just incredible. Like, I'm just looking at them. I'm like, man, what'd you just do to me? Like, how'd you just tap me? I want to see what you did, I was rolling with Pierre and he's been getting me with this. And I'm like, what the fuck are you getting me with?
Yeah.
And I just need to see it. And same with like Tyler, he was like, man, do it to this guy so I can see. I just want to like record stuff, and it's the
No.
simplest of movements. And you're just like, wow, you just catch me with that. Like Tyler did some like Jedi mind stuff on me the other day. I was wrong. I'm like, wait, how'd you just get to side control? I didn't even see. He like did some like this switch knee thing. I'm like, wait, you're next to me now?
Yeah.
Normally, I can retain guard, but he just did something weird. I'm like, wait, what?
It's amazing.
It's really incredible because just when you think you're like, okay, my game's somewhat
Yeah.
dialed in. You know what I mean? It's just a little, like, I feel like confident. I'm feeling confident right now, right?
Yeah.
And then someone just like makes you feel like you don't know anything about jiu-jitsu. You're like, oh fuck, I guess I don't. And that's the humbling part of it that you love.
That's what I love.
Keeps you coming back. You're like, you're never gonna know it all.
They're like,
Never.
oh, I got my black belt. I'm like, oh, it's the biggest honor ever for me, other than the Marine Corps. But it's a beginning.
Yeah, it's a beginning.
I have blue belts, that are giving me tough times. Purple, but it doesn't matter. It's you're learning. It's like that's the beginning for me, and I'm looking at it from a gi standpoint. I came up doing no gi at first. I was in North Carolina. I would do the gi maybe once every month. We were like MMA, no gi. I was teaching myself off Eddie Bravo. I was like, I got long legs. I'm flexible.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, rubber guard works, and I'll still use my rubber guard to this day. Fighting, it was important to me. That's what I liked about it, because off your back, you're trapping the guy's arm, and that's the most important thing. You let a guy posture, he's going to, I'm not going to berimbolo somebody in MMA.
Right.
There's a different sports jiu-jitsu and then, obviously MMA jiu-jitsu. Right. And that's what I feel like you need both of. If you want, if you want to expand past jiu-jitsu, or if you want to get higher with jiu-jitsu, I think it's important in both just to have. I like having both.
Yeah, I agree.
Whether it's training a fighter or you're training somebody in the traditional gi, okay, whatever, But I want to be good at both, and I love it. I like both, and I'm glad I started where I started.
So if you compete against Jiao Miao, right?
Yeah, I'm against him 3 times.
But
He's good.
What, you're going in the adult divisions?
Yeah, just
Because you got to be my age. How old are you?
I'm 36.
You're 30. I thought you
I'm
were
Master
closer to
2.
mine.
Yeah.
Okay, you're Master. I'm Master.
I've only
2.
done one Master 2 tournament.
You're like 10 years
so-
older than him. So.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, no, I feel. Trust me, they make me feel old. I remember.
But still, he's still going into the adult division
Yeah.
at Master 2.
And when they're out here, I'll go adult, because I asked my instructor, Christian Uflacker, about if I get my black belt, man, if they ever come out here, because I've seen that they've flown out here, can I just go against them? He was like, whatever, okay. And then it just happened where I've went against him 3 times, and I was his first match 3 times.
Oh, really?
I'm like, damn. But it's great. Everybody's human, and that's what's amazing about it. Yeah, I'm a guy. I don't train jiu-jitsu 8 hours a day. I don't. I wish I could. I wish I had the time and the money to do that, but I can't. But everybody's human, and I learned in every single match, just with his. I'm not even talking about every black belt match. The ones I've even won, but the ones I've lost, I've learned the most. And he has my style, and it was awesome. It's awesome to compete against them, but I can't idolize somebody when I'm competing against them, and I'm trying to win. I'm not trying to lose.
Right.
I could have watched him do his fancy stuff, berimbolo. So I did the best I could 3 times. It came up 0-3, but hey, hopefully he comes back out, and I just keep getting better. It's for the competition and learning. I wanna be the instructor where they could see, hey, he's still competing. That's awesome too. I think that's important, especially to younger people, younger belts that maybe don't get what it's like to be a complete adult yet. When you have families, you have kids, you can't be traveling all over the world. It was hard for me traveling this year a lot, and it was just in the United States. It was tough. I don't get paid to, travel.
Right. No, you have to pay to travel. Yeah,
but I got some cool sponsors coming up, and they said they're going to help me out this year in any way possible, and so I help somebody out, help me out, so it's awesome. And that's what's important. People should be competing more, like in jiu-jitsu and in competition, or paid more, I guess, so to speak.
Well, I think at black belt level, I think
yeah, there's got to be something. You can't just say, every tournament you go and you're getting paid. But I wish there was something, at least traveling wise, because it's tough. It is tough for these guys paying what $1,500 to compete. Bam, you could be done in 30 seconds. All right, time to go home. I'll enjoy the trip.
Right.
But it's not about the money, but it's nice to get rewarded.
What about competitions? Allowing giving discounts to black belts or something to that effect.
Yeah, even that
that
would
would be-
most of the local ones. I think they'll give black belts compete for free.
Oh, is that right? Mm-hmm. Like the Nagas and new breeds, or
Yeah, I think the new breed. I don't think Naga.
okay.
I believe
there
it
a lot-
was new breed.
Are there a lot of
had-
black belts compete in Naga?
I don't know. I haven't been in Naga since 2010.
Okay.
2011.
And you're still waiting for your match.
yeah. I'm still
Still waiting.
Jeez.
They're gonna call you soon.
Yeah.
No, I think,
You're up
and
any
that's
minute.
definitely why. I think I went on at like 7:00.
Right.
I was like, wow, okay. 7 hours later, let's just get this over with.
Right.
Like, I'll just tap verbally. I don't care. Wow, that was bad.
But I heard they're doing better.
That's
Yeah.
better with the time.
I hate
Well,
to shit on
so.
them. I hope they turn it around.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
they're still a staple. I mean,
They're
obviously,
still making
commodity,
a
they're
ton
still-
of money.
Yeah, they're still making money. Me personally, I like seeing progression. In
Well, for
anything.
sure. And now competition drives everything.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to up their game, or they're just going to go away.
Eventually, right? Because
so-
you got grappling industries, you got grappling games, you've got new breed,
Right.
and submission challenge. You got all these,
And they're all doing, they're running
Yeah.
nice tournaments, and Naga's going to have to up their game, or no one's going to show up.
No, these submission challenges things they're the new thing, it seems, and it was cool. It was a good experience.
Yeah.
It brings you back to the fighting days, the MMA days.
So you enlisted in 03,
03, yes.
and then you got out of the Marines in 07?
yes, correct.
And I know you did a little bit of jiu-jitsu while you were in service.
Yes.
But, so did you just join a gym as soon as you got out?
I joined a gym probably 6 months before I got out in North Carolina.
Okay.
Stayed there for about 6 more months. I just got my blue belt out there after about a year plus. Again, mostly no gi. Like gi was once a week, so that's why it took me a while. I was doing really good over at local tournaments, though, in North Carolina. Nothing like IBJJFs. I didn't know anything about that back then or whatever. But so I learned out there with about 6 months left, and about a year.
Who was your instructor out there?
James Wright. He was a chief warrant officer, retired Marine. I think he did like 20 years.
And what was his lineage?
He was he's like a Nate Marquardt black belt,
Okay.
which is interesting. So I actually got my blue belt